Good morning. We're up in the Great Smoky Mountains and I'm testing out another monocular product to enhance enjoyment of nature and wildlife in general. This is provided by OneLeaf. It's a digital night vision Commander NV100. The first thing you notice about this unit is it's really well built, really solid, almost has a military quality feel to it, but it's not military grade, of course. It retails for somewhere around $300, I believe, but it's really a nice unit. And the one thing that strikes me is it's very small and very light for a monocular. And its small size and compactness and lightweight is really a result of the fact that it's primarily intended to be adapted to rifle scopes, and there's a various number of adapters. But my purpose is to evaluate it as a standalone monocular, in particular for its night vision capabilities. So let's run through the monocular and what comes with it. It comes with three aluminum adapters, 48 millimeter, 42 millimeter, and 45 millimeter adapters. And the way those work, and the adapters snap on quite firmly, which is what you want, and then they release here. And then they have two Allen screws to firmly attach it. So if it happens to perfectly match your scope, you're in business. If not, it includes a tape that you can wrap around there and try and match the diameter. And that can be a little bit challenging, but it can be done. But again, my purpose here is to discuss this as a standalone monocular. Because the whole idea is to keep this small, it doesn't have a large screen to view without looking through the eyepiece. And you look at your menu and all your settings through the eyepiece, so I won't be able to show you that on video, but I can tell you that the menu itself is pretty simple and the controls are very simple. There's a switch here to long push to go into IR mode and a long push to go out of IR mode. And while you're in IR mode, you have 6 IR levels, and you just click it 1 through 6, and that depends on how far away and how bright you want it to be. And then you can take photos and videos by pushing the middle OK button here. And then your zoom button is down here, and you can zoom 1 to 3 power digital. Now I should clarify that this is a 16 millimeter version of this monocular. It comes in two flavors, 12 millimeter, which gives you a wider field of view and better for a close-up use, and then this one, which is a 16 millimeter, gives you a narrow field of view. And then your menu button is over here, and the menu is pretty straightforward. One thing that's nice about the menu is it gives you options to adjust the white balance, the sharpness, the saturation, and the brightness and the contrast of the camera sensor. And it uses the Sony Starvis CMOS sensor, which really provides excellent night vision. Now the other thing is that it has a diopter adjustment here, and there's a setting in the menu where you can get the display, and then you rotate this diopter adjustment to where you get a perfect view with your eye, and then you can use the focus wheel, which is here, to focus in and out. Now because this is the 16 millimeter version, it has a 4 to 24 power zoom and then an additional 1 to 3 digital zoom, so it can really zoom in on something at night. Now, the other thing is it's got a rechargeable lithium battery, which is nice. And that goes right in here. And you can also either recharge it with a power bank, like a typical Anker power bank here that I carry in the field all the time. And you can also power it with a solar power bank like this. And not only can you power it directly without the battery, but you can also charge the battery. So when you're out in the field, there's multiple ways to keep this thing charged up. I found the battery life to be really excellent on this, something on the order of 2 to 3 hours with continuous video running. You can also run it just directly, as I said, off a solar power bank or a USB. Also uses a micro SD card, and a 32 gigabyte micro SD card is included. Now I tended to run 10-minute videos, and a 10-minute video was about just under a gigabyte, so you can hold a lot of data on a 32 gigabyte card. And it also has a a slot for a earphone, and it does have a microphone and records pretty decent audio. Optics seem to be really well made. This is the focus wheel right here, and it has a real nice feel to it. Overall, the whole unit has a really nice precision, well-crafted feel to it. This is the 850 nanometer IR light, and it has an extension on it that you can use to increase the intensity of the light at night. Now this is mostly when you're using it with a rifle scope. What I found when I tested it with a scope is that if you extended this, then you cleared up the visibility significantly and really focused the light onto a small area. So for general monocular use, if you extend it like this, you'll end up with a hot spot on it. So most of the time you're going to want to have that down if you're using it for a general nighttime monocular. You turn it on with a long push, menu button, and this is your moving your function button, left or right or up or down. It also turns on a red dot laser here, and you can see the laser pointer there. Now the other thing that it has that's kind of nice is it has a selection of eyepiece covers from short, medium, and long, depending on what kind of eye relief you require. Now personally I wear glasses, and I found that the shortest eyepiece cover worked the best for me. What you want to do is get your eye in there to where you see the full screen. So I found that the short eyepiece works best, and like I said, you can experiment with the 3 different eyepieces. And there's also another battery cap. If you wanted to remove the battery entirely and just cap it off and then run it directly from a power pack or a solar power, you could do that, and that just makes it easier. So they've really put a lot of thought into this, and to keep it really small and functional. So you can see just how small it is. I mean, it just fits right in the palm of your hand. It's very narrow and very lightweight, under a pound. A pretty remarkably small unit. It comes with a little felt covered protective case that it fits into, and the instruction manual is fairly thorough, and it comes with the tools necessary to attach the scope adapters and to make various adjustments, and also a couple of spare O-rings and a spare screw. A free 32 gigabyte micro SD card is included with the unit, and it can take a micro SD card up to 256 gigabytes, so it's a really large capacity. And you can take videos for up to 10 minutes. That's what I generally do, is take 10 minutes, and if you turn this on to take a video, it'll take video in full HD, or 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, which is good. And the video is just outstanding at night. I tested the one-leaf monocular attached to a 9-power scope for detail by using an owl decoration on a tree branch from a distance of about 25 yards. And you can see the night vision resolution is outstanding. This monocular will also fit to a large number of binoculars using the 3 included scope adapters. One fit my 12 by 50 binoculars perfectly. It's a bit odd at first, but with some practice you could master nocturnal binocular use. Of course, you'd be using just half of the binocular like a monocular. The video records pretty good sound, and within the menu you can also opt to film in slow motion up to 1/8 normal speed. And I haven't tried that out, but it's it could be useful for some people. So to summarize, the one-leaf digital night vision Commander NV100 really is a nicely built, small, compact unit. Works really well, simple to use. It carries a 2-year warranty, and it's waterproof from rain and fog and things like that. Obviously you can't immerse it in water. It's also pretty robust. It's not going to just fall apart with a few minor dings and bumps and things like that. Comes with a carrying case. What's nice is it fits in the palm of your hand rather easily. I mean, it's small. You can use your focus wheel here. That's really all all there is to it. It has a lot of options for power, so you don't have to worry about running out of power or buying a lot of batteries. And it's advertised to have a range of about 325 yards or so. I didn't test it out anywhere near that far. I tested out 150 yards, and it works fine, especially on a tripod. I forgot to mention it has a tripod mount, and I'll show you lots of examples, but I would recommend if you're spotting a lot at night and wildlife and things like that, to use it on a tripod. But it's also, because of its size and lightweight, it's fairly easy to hold steady, handheld. And really, it's just all about enhancing your enjoyment of wildlife at nighttime. It has, capable daytime functions, but its primary strength, and actually impressive strength, is it's using the Sony CMOS Starvis technology to really see in detail at night. This raccoon was filmed in total darkness from about 25 yards away, using only the monocular, not attached to a scope. I generally found the detail at night to be outstanding in a number of examples. When using the monocular like this, it's not necessary to extend the IR light tube, as that would result in a hot spot of IR intensity. But at longer ranges and narrow fields of view, especially when attached to a scope, the extension ability is quite effective. And again, it comes in a 16mm version, which gives you a greater zoom power at longer distances, and a 12mm version, which gives you a wider field of view. Whether you want the 12 or 16mm version is kind of a matter of personal preference, but you get much greater zoom with the 16mm version. Fortunately, I was able to see a number of elk. This is the time of year when the elk are in the rut and the herds are passing through backyard north. If you're out in the woods walking and you see some wildlife, this is ready to go without worrying about attaching a phone for digiscoping or something like that. It's a recording monocular. You just simply click the middle button and turn on the video, and it videos everything that you see through the monocular. Here I'm using the monocular to document this bull elk moving in heavy cover that is unaware I'm watching. This is handheld and the focus wheel is easy to use, and of course you can easily record everything without fiddling with your phone attachments while on steep, slippery ground. And I'd like to thank my buddy the possum for helping us out, and also Mr. Crow for his editorial comments on my reviewing.